Oh my God. Panic City. I'm like, oh my God.
We did it on the first try.
I know. I had moms ready though. I said, someone, if you hear me yell your name, get out here, get into this room.
Get in this room, help me out.
So it's so nice to like see you.
I know. I'm so happy. Here's my littlest dude. Right now, he's getting ready for bed, eating a chicken nugget.
Oh my gosh, she's so cute. I know Micah's not here because I'm at a meeting.
I know. You guys are talking about your shirt for the Buddy Walk?
Yeah, well, actually, our Buddy Walk's Saturday. So we are getting all the team's shirts together.
Nice.
And yeah, so crazy. But I thought, okay, I just need a nice room and we're good to go.
Yay! Thank you for, it was kind of last minute. I think I approached you like a week ago.
Yeah. Hey, that's how it seems to go for me, but that's good. Doesn't give me time to chicken out.
Right. I gave you no time for that.
No, exactly. So anyway.
You're such a good sport.
Well, thank you. I'm actually honored to be able to do it. I mean, you know, so it's like whenever you can help somebody or say something to speak into someone's life, I'm like, okay, Lord, I'll do it. So.
Yes, I love that. Well, Nina, I know for me, I love following your account, and I wanted to talk to you more face to face because of how family oriented your whole account is. And I know it's primarily about showcasing Micah, but it has his brothers in it, now his little nephews. Wait, 2 nephews, or is it a niece and a nephew?
He has a niece and a nephew.
Okay.
Yes.
So seeing him on his quad, and you're just always so fun with him. I love to see that personally because Sunflower is 6, and I just get so excited to see older kiddos.
Yes.
And young adults, and then older adults. So I just think it's so important for all of those phases to be showcased, especially on Tulips and Tuscany, just for all the new moms to see this cool dude riding quads, having fun with his brother and his sister, and the great relationship that you and your husband have with him. That's what drew me to your guys' page.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you. And all your videos. I always love your videos.
I know. You never know what's going to be on them, but it's like we just roll with it. Sometimes I send and I'm like, whatever. I don't even know what we look like, but
this is reality.
Yeah, exactly.
Would you share, to start us off, and viewers, listeners, please put your questions out there for us, for Nina, and we'll try to answer them towards the end. But Nina, will you tell us a little bit about your birth story and how you found out about Micah? Was it in utero, or was it an at-birth diagnosis? Take us briefly on that road.
Okay. You know, it was a time in my life I turned 40. And I was like, I had lost a lot of weight, and I joined the roller derby, and I was teaching kickboxing. So I was like, my youngest kid was 7.
Yeah.
And so
you got your body back.
Oh, yeah. I was like, oh, my gosh, you know, I was having fun, and no more car seats, any of that. So anyway, I found out I was pregnant, and I'm going to be honest. I was not that, I was like, cannot believe I'm pregnant and I'm 40 years old. I was like, I was just getting, you know, like I said, getting going again. And I was feeling like I was finding myself again after little kids. And so that was like a shock to start with. And, you know, and then guilt to feeling that, oh my gosh, like I should just be like, this is a blessing from the Lord. And why am I like I was thinking about myself. So anyway, I got over that shock, and I was like, you know what, this is great. You know, I'm having another baby. And so I went through my pregnancy, and I did, you know, I thought, wow, I'm older, but I didn't really think about Down syndrome or any of that until they wanted to do some testing. And so they wanted to do testing, and I was hesitant. I said, you know what, I don't want to do anything. I don't really want to do testing because whatever if it would find out anything, I wouldn't do anything. This is what God wants me to have. So I dismissed it. Well, they kind of convinced me. It's really weird how this happens. Well, he could have spina bifida or something like
Yeah.
that. So we just want to make sure this is not invasive. So anyway, I had a
Right.
test where they measured his nuchal, the back of his neck and some other thing. And when they came, they called me. I'll never forget. I was sitting on the couch. I was drinking a Pepsi, real healthy, I know, but I like a big old Pepsi. Um, and I'll never forget. Yeah, I'm bad like that. But anyway, so I remember they called me and said, you have, I can't even really remember, you guys, to be honest, what the percentage was, but it was not like, it wasn't real big. I mean, I was like, huh. But I took the high road. Seriously, in my mind, I thought, you know what? He does not have Down syndrome. That it's 80% chance he doesn't. I mean,
Yeah.
and I just dismissed it. I didn't think anything. Went through all my ultrasounds and everything. There was never any markers. And so never thought anything, except one time there was an issue with the heart. And then they told me, oh no, it's fine.
Okay.
It's fine. So anyway, fast forward, I go on the doctor. It's a month early. The next day, my daughter's starting high school, sophomore year, and they tell me, you're not going to go home. You're going to have a baby tomorrow. I'm like, what? Yeah, I was like big. It was summer.
Yeah.
I mean, I had a high schooler going to sophomore year. I'm like,
Yeah.
oh my gosh. So long story short, I had the baby, and it's so weird, but I said, does the baby have Down syndrome? I didn't even see him because I had a C-section.
Okay.
And they said, no, everything's fine, and I just said, I don't even know why I asked that, though. I'm like, was that like
Really?
my subconscious mind? So
Yeah.
I was fine. I was in my room. I was by myself, and about 4 doctors came in, and they said, we want to tell you that your child has trisomy, 21, and people like that, they can have okay lives.
Yeah.
And I was like,
Okay, lives.
okay, first of all, I was by myself, which I thought was awful.
Totally.
And so anyway, I did not know that Micah was going to have Down syndrome until that moment. And then
Right.
then they came in a few hours later and said that he also was going to have open heart surgery because he
Okay.
had the heart defect.
Yeah.
And so, you know what? I'm going to be honest. I was devastated. I was devastated. I mean, devastated in that I honestly thought, like, out of anybody, I have a best friend, my friend Kelly. Like, I thought this sounds bad, but this was my thinking then. I'm not even a kid person. I was not like have a bunch of kids. I mean, I was the only child. I mean, I have
Okay.
half brothers and stuff, but I was the only child. So I was like I'm way over my limit here with 4 kids.
Right.
And so I was like, she would be great to have a special needs kid. Oh my God, what? Why would why did you do this to me?
Right.
And, you look back on that and you're like, oh my gosh. But,
There's so much emotion. Plus with hormones of pregnancy.
Yes. It's like every emotion that you can imagine. I can't even really explain it to everybody about the emotions that you actually have. But then the emotion that I had a lot too was that I had asked God, I'm a Christian, and I asked the Lord in the very beginning if I was going to have a child. That I just prayed and I wait to hear, and then I get the answer, and that's the answer I go with. And I felt like the Lord told me I was going to have a perfect child. No health issues, no nothing. And he said that. So that's why I just dismissed everything. Yeah. So when that happened, not only was I like, oh my gosh, I don't know how to parent a child with special needs. And I'm like, did I hear from God? What? I questioned. I wasn't mad at God, but I did question, why did you tell me he was going to be perfect and healthy? But fast forward, and the Lord just really spoke to me. One day I had this revelation that God told me, I heard that small voice. He said, I did give you perfect. My idea of perfect was not really what God's idea was perfect. And I'm so glad that God knows better than me, because he is such a perfect child, and all our kids are, but his relationship to Micah and Down syndrome, God wove that into him, and he knew exactly what my family needed. And so, yeah, it was a shock, and there was hard times. There's some days, honestly, I still cry, and
Yeah.
you kind of don't want to admit that, it's
Right.
like, oh, you don't, because then you feel guilty. But I've
Yeah.
just learned that it's just part of the journey. It's just part of it. But it's like I don't stay there long anymore. I used to stay in
Right.
that funk a little bit longer. And as you get older and your kids get older, I'm not in that funk. I mean, even with the challenges, there's way more love, purpose, and joy with Micah. So, yeah,
Yes. I love that.
yeah.
How's it been in, like, with Micah and your relationship with your other kiddos, being that he's the baby, he was kind of more of a surprise, and
Right.
just watching their relationships all develop as they've become, I think, are they all adults now? Or
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, they think they're adults, but yeah, they're adults.
Totally. I'm barely an adult and I'm 30.
I know.
And I'm going to have my fourth child.
Exactly. I feel like I'm 18, so I'm like, yeah, I guess they're adults stuff. But yeah. My kids are all, let me see, are any of them on here right now? No.
Right.
Can I be honest? Get off. My kids, like I said, Macy, my daughter, the one who just had her second child, she was in high school. And then I had Mason was in like 6th grade, and then Merrick was the little guy. And they all, it kind of just happens, but they all just, went right with the flow. Now, I will say Macy, she had the hardest, the oldest one.
Okay.
She always had a heart for special needs. And I remember when I had Micah, when she heard me ask, if Micah had Down syndrome, my friend was taking her to school that day, and she said, on the way to school, she said, why did my mom even ask if the baby had Down syndrome? Because it really wouldn't matter, and so that had bothered her. Well, she didn't realize that when she got home in the evening, she was going to find out he actually did have Down syndrome.
Wow.
And so when that happened, Macy would not, and this is not bad against Macy, this is how she reacted. She wouldn't touch Micah.
Good.
She would not touch him. She was like, he had feeding tubes and different things.
Yes.
She had a harder time, but what is so amazing is that she got over that, and she spoke about it, that Micah is her hero. He's all of my kids' heroes. And so they all adjusted. The boys, they treat Micah just like one of the boys.
Yes.
They wrestle with him. And honestly, they don't really see him as different.
Yeah.
They just treat him like a sibling would treat another sibling. But the only thing is that I always tell the boys too, this is fun. I said, I don't know why you guys don't take Micah out. He's like a chick magnet. Like,
Totally.
I'm like, they're all, I'm like, take your brother with you. But they
probably don't want to get told on.
That's true, because he does. He will say, Mason did this or that. But all the kids, what's beautiful about it is that having Micah, having a kid with special needs, Down syndrome, it doesn't, and you guys know this, it doesn't just affect my family. It affected all of their friends, and their friends, as they grew up. Micah went to all the baseball games. Everybody on the team knew Micah. All the teachers knew Micah, with all of my kids. And so it's just like changing the world just a little. We each have a little corner,
right,
and a little circle,
right,
and it changes it. Because those teenagers right now, they love Micah. They're 20s now. They love Micah. Hey, Micah, dude, and he fist pumps, and it's just it's been good, and so they've adjusted well. And Micah he has the one brother in college. He's actually shared a room with Merrick for 11 years, and Merrick just left for college. And they fight like brothers. Micah comes out with Merrick's underwear and different things. He put hot Cheetos on the controller. So they're just, but so Micah's adjusting though, because it's like he's an only child now.
Yes.
So that's hard. So.
That is hard. And family, I feel like, so we adopted Sunflower, and one of the reasons I felt called to, or I wanted to so badly have a person with Down syndrome a part of our family unit, was that I saw families who had a person with the different abilities in their family as special. I felt like they glowed to me. Like, I don't know, there was like an
Yeah.
aura, a understanding, a
Right.
warmth to them. And I
Right.
really, really wanted that
No.
for Andy and I and our family.
Right.
And all three of my kiddos currently share a room. We have a big enough house to where they can have their own room.
Right.
But they're 6, 4, and 2. So I just felt like, I don't know, they're still little. It's kind of cute.
Yeah.
And Sunflower sings herself to sleep at night.
Aww.
So I just think it's so funny
Yeah.
that that's just going to be a part of Rhodes and Shepherd's
Yeah.
story.
It is. It is. It is. I mean, believe me. I mean, Micah and poor Merrick. He doesn't even know I'm on this live, so we could talk about him. But Micah would crawl into bed all the time with them.
Yes, there's no shame.
No, and it's like just normal. I mean, they're like, you know. So yeah, it's wonderful having them all grow up together.
It's endearing, and I just feel like someone mentioned, I think it was one of your friends says Micah is a magnet, and I just feel like that is one of the gifts that a person with the different abilities has.
Yes.
You know, they're a magnet of warmth, welcomeness, fun, and love, and I see that. I see that a lot through your photos and videos with Micah.
Yes.
Yeah, and from you, I feel like you hold and carry that same spirit. So I see where he gets it from. Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah, he's a character.
And he's a flirt. Someone said he's a flirt.
Oh, he's a flirt. Yes, he is. I mean, it's, you know, it's like, we've gone through this journey, you know, they do things and it's really cute when they're little and stuff. Well, then Mike is getting older. So I'm like, we're in Target and this is no joke. If his dad was here to testify, he likes ladies.
Yes.
He likes ladies. And this lady was in front of us and she turned around and he's in the cart. He was a little bit younger, but not that much younger. And he goes, well, hello there.
Oh my God.
I was like, oh my gosh. I'm like, it's almost like I'm like waiting for what he's going to say and do. And I'm like, I told Robert, I said, you know what? we're going to have to get out of this line because what's this kid going to say?
Yeah.
But he is a charmer. He likes the ladies. And we are working on appropriate, because that's what happens when they start getting older. It's sad because you don't want them to lose their personality.
Yeah.
It's just the way God made them.
Yeah.
But then there's that part that you know, you need to be you need to be yourself, but there's the appropriate part.
Yeah.
And so we're working on that. But he's definitely a flirt.
Yeah. And the
likes
appropriate part just helps their relationships to go further in life anyways. I mean, everybody just has to be appropriate. So you're just like, I want you to be successful, even though I know you're really cute and you're charming.
Yes.
But.
Yes. Like, you don't go ask everybody for a date and a bag of hot Cheetos, because that's what he does. So, you know. But, yeah. So, yeah.
This hot Cheetos thing is just.
Gosh. Yeah. We try to limit that, but it's. Everybody comes over and they bring him hot Cheetos. His birthday, he had, I think, a case of hot Cheetos. So I'm like, people. He can't have all these hot Cheetos. That will, yeah. So anyway, we're working on that.
Nobody wants to be the bad guy.
No, they spoil them. Yeah. So.
Well, I had a question. So what have you done in the way of schooling for Micah? So what has been his educational path up until this point?
So we had early intervention right when I had Micah. I had heard of that. And so we started with a teacher coming in. He was a baby. He was an infant. And so we started there, and then when he was 3, we put him in a preschool, just a public gen ed preschool, and it was preschool. 1 year in preschool, then he went the next year he went to an all-inclusive public school preschool. Okay. So there was gen ed kids and typical, and kids with different abilities. Yeah. And we loved it. I loved it. And it was really just more social type of thing. And so he stayed there a long time because I was really bad in the beginning. I still am bad. like I keep him I'm like, no, he doesn't need to move up yet.
Yeah.
He's like, this is good, you know. So
Yeah.
he stayed there a long time. I had great teachers. And then, so he's been in a special day class after that.
Okay.
And we've had him pulled out for like PE and reading and
Yeah.
different subjects. And so he's still in the special day class.
Right.
And, you know, and he's doing well.
Yeah.
It's still, and he's in 5th grade. It's still, I'll be honest, as a mom, for me, one of the biggest struggles I've had is, there was a podcast on The Lucky Few one time. I loved it, talking about how everybody does different things. And
Yeah.
I think you can feel guilty as a mom. Like I felt there's guilt that I'd have, like, you know, am I fighting for, you know, I want him in an all-inclusive class, and am I fighting for enough stuff for him?
Mm-hmm. Right.
And what I've realized is that for Micah, he's right where he needs to be.
Yeah.
And each one of us, because I've homeschooled my other kids, by the way, all my kids were homeschooled up through high school.
Really?
Yeah. And then Merritt, one of them was 2nd grade. He got put into school. Anyway, that's a whole nother story. But
Okay.
so through this all, I cut myself some slack, because I was just really having a hard time because I'm one of those type of moms or people that, like, I can get passionate about something and then I'm going to change it and I'm going to, you know, go for it.
Totally.
And so with Micah he's not in an all-inclusive class, I really looked at, Nina, why do you want that?
Yeah.
I want him inclusive. I believe in it, but for Micah, it just wasn't a right fit. It's better for him with the social things. So the way, you know, it's been good for us. He's been in a special day class. We've had great teachers. I really do it, you know, I compensate in a way for that by taking him out in the community, having, you know, socially doing things that include him.
Yeah.
And so that's the way I've done it. And I think you just have to, it's like with any kid. I have one kid who is academic, one who's hands-on, one who's, you know, off at college. They were all different. And it took me to number 4 with special needs here to realize, what am I doing? Why am I trying to fit all my kids in a box that the world tells me to fit in?
Yeah.
We all learn different. And so Micah, I totally believe in inclusion and fully included, but he is in a day class, and it works good for him. And so, yeah, we'll be looking at the the best buddies programs.
Totally.
And,
awesome program.
Stuff like that. And then, you know, I just take it year by year.
Yeah.
When he's in 7th grade, we might look into putting him into other, you know, other classes.
Right.
So I just, you know, that's the beauty of it, that all of our kiddos are in different places, and it's okay, and that we can celebrate and help each other and like cheer each other on. It's like, that is awesome. And you know, so he's just kind of been on the steady path. He's doing great. He did have an aide up until this point. This is his first year with no aide. He doesn't need an aide in this class. But that was hard for me. Right. Because I was like, he needs an aide. You know, and then I felt like the Lord said, Nina, are you trying to get independence?
Yeah.
So it's coming, but then you're fighting it.
Right.
And so anyway, so right now, no aide, and he's doing great.
He's doing great. Oh, man.
Great.
It is year by year.
Yeah, it's year by year. Yeah.
Year by year.
Yeah. Next year, I might just be like, oh, he's going, but he's looking at they're working with us. Let's just put it that way. They're working with me.
Yeah.
So I'm happy.
That's all you pray for. Yeah, I know. And he's safe, and he's happy, and he's making friendships. And
exactly. He's making friends.
That.
Yeah. So it's good.
I had a question for Micah. Is he in any, does he have any services that he gets right now? Any for like speech, OT, PT, any therapies like that?
He has speech therapy.
Okay.
At school. We've done it. He's had speech therapy the whole time in school.
Okay.
And we did speech therapy when he was younger in a clinical, it was at the hospital. They had a speech therapist. We've done that. So he's been in speech therapy the whole time. He has really good verbal.
That's awesome.
Yeah, he's a talker. Really good. And he's a talker. Sometimes I do have to interpret. You know, but I know what he's saying, but he
Totally.
talks really well. So we're working on like appropriate things, like asking questions.
Okay.
Um, that's the kind of speech stuff we're working on, not as much the pronunciation of words. We are working on that too, but a lot of appropriate conversation with
Yeah.
kids' age. Like,
Right.
he'll go up to someone and say, yeah, I want to marry, or like, are you my, he just says random things that don't make sense. And they're like, are you,
Yeah.
asking questions. And
Yes.
some of it's for attention, believe me. He's
Okay.
like, will you marry me? And
Yeah.
that kind of stuff.
It
So we're
gets a
working on,
reaction and
yeah, he wants a reaction. So we're working on that right now,
yeah.
is appropriate asking questions and stuff like that. So yeah,
I love that.
other
A
than
lot
that,
of
no therapy.
yeah, a lot of our viewers have asked, is he in any like extracurricular things, sports, clubs, or anything like that? I know he loves to do his quad. He's always on
Yes,
his quad.
he does his quad. And then we this last season we did baseball.
Okay, I love it.
And he loved the baseball. He loves it. I mean, to get him to run, I'm just being honest, is if you had a bag of Cheetos on first base, he'd run really fast. But
That's me.
yeah, I
I
know.
feel the same
Are we going
way.
out for dessert after? So he did baseball, which was great, and he's in soccer right now.
Okay.
Excuse me.
Running sports, both of those.
I know. I don't like the running is a challenge. So we're still in the phase of trying to find something that Micah likes and that
Yeah.
he loves music, and so we thought about guitar lessons, and so we're working on different things. But they have the sports he's on are like for special needs kids, and
Yeah.
but he likes it, and we're working with that, and we're having him work in the community. Like, he's working with a friend that owns a restaurant. He's going to be starting to have cooking lessons there.
Oh, I love this.
And we've gone to different events, and he actually serves. And it's only short amount of times, but I've just absolutely loved it because he's getting out in the community.
Yeah.
And I'm like thinking ahead, like he works at the thrift store.
Yeah.
He greets people. And so I'm thinking ahead. I'm like, okay, this is the community he's going to be living in. This
Right.
is inclusive. They're getting used to seeing a kid
Micah.
the Micah. And I start with my inner circle. I'm like, okay, who do I know that owns a restaurant? Who do I know that
Yeah.
works here? Who do I know? I really, to be honest, you guys, I'm old and I try to simplify the process. I'm like, I got to simplify this, and so it's just been great because the community is getting to know him. And so I'm getting him involved that way too. So
I love that.
yeah.
That is something that me and Andy have talked about a lot, of like getting ourselves planted, because it would be awesome to be able to be like, okay, if we decide to stay here,
Mm-hmm.
then the neighborhood, which then turns into the local grocery store, that
Exactly.
turns into the same gas station we go to. It just kind of ripples, and they just will always see Sunflower. And there's nothing better than feeling like, okay, if I'm not around, dear Lord, I pray
Yes.
that someone else who knows her, has seen her around, could step in any way of help,
Exactly.
So I love that, and I have the same kind
Yeah.
of thoughts. Like, okay, what is a job going to look like? And I've actually heard this, and we want to talk about it on the podcast too, of the topic of like, we as parents still need to even pave the way for the different opportunities of jobs out there for our children with different abilities. And there's nothing wrong with working as a bagger. There's nothing wrong at tearing tickets at a movie theater. Nothing wrong with that.
Exactly.
But we don't want to limit to only that. So what are our other options? We have to be creative.
Exactly.
Advocating for life.
Exactly.
But that's okay. It's good. I'll take the challenge.
It is. Exactly. And then, I think you have to look at, it's so easy sometimes too to compare our lives to other their highlight reels we see on Instagram.
Yes.
But everybody's different. And if you find the bent that your kid like I said, my typical kids, they're bent towards doing different things and certain things. And that's no difference for Micah or our kids. They have likes and dislikes, and trying to lead them and find those opportunities ahead of them, very important, and it does start when they're young, because let me tell you guys, it goes fast.
It does.
It does. And then you're to the next level. And you're like, oh my gosh, because I know some things, but I'm still looking for people ahead of me.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
like, well, what do you do? I don't know what to do. This is the first time I've had a child, but I think leaning towards your child's likes, dislikes, what they're good at, just like you would any other kid. Some of my kids are, like I said, good for college. Some are more hands-on. There's no difference. I'm not going to try to cram something and make Micah something he's not, but I'm going to push him to be all that he can be with his likes. I want him to
Yeah.
like his job, like what he's doing. And so I
Right.
think that's important to look at the individual child, not, for what they like and their things that they're bent towards. So,
Right.
you know,
I love that. Now,
yeah.
okay, real quick, because I could talk to you forever. Do you have a clock in front of you? I don't know what time it is. Friends, can you
Oh my
help
gosh,
me out
no.
there?
I'm in someone
It's
else's
on my
room. I'm
phone,
sitting in
but
this
we're on
nice,
live.
looks like a, it looks like a model home. I'm like, wow, this is kind of nice. I have no idea what time it is.
What time is it, ladies? Am I running late? I have no idea. Honey, do you know what time it is?
7:59.
Okay, we're still on schedule.
Thank
We'll
you.
start to wrap it up, but we're still
Okay.
on schedule. Um, you've talked a lot about your faith and that you're a Christian. One question I have, because I'm a Christian also, and I hope
Mhm.
our viewers don't mind me talking about this, but I've always, I always say for each one of my children, the most important thing that I want for them, above a career, a family of their own, is a relationship with Jesus Christ. And I know Mike is only 11, but have you seen that to be true, that he's forming his own relationship with God?
Yes. My whole family, everybody's a Christian. And he's always been in church. So yes, Micah prays, he sees us pray. I try to pray. He comes into worship with us, with me, and he sees us and we pray. And when he asks me questions, I tell him, well, let's pray about it. We pray every night. Um, definitely. Definitely, I see, a relationship. And like I said, I'm surrounded by a community of people who also encourage that in Micah. He goes to vacation Bible school classes.
Oh,
We had
yeah.
a week-long thing. He got to go. In fact, we were just listening to those songs on the radio the other day. Definitely. I honestly think that his spirit is connected more to God's than anybody I know.
I
Because he does.
know.
I really believe that. And like yesterday at church, we are talking about purpose. And I'm like, here we strive so much. God, what's our purpose? And we want this plan of purpose. Micah does not strive for purpose. He lives in his purpose. He is
Yes.
kind to everyone. He loves and makes everybody feel special. He celebrates everybody. I want that purpose. Why are we can learn from Micah. There's a spiritual element that I think God puts in our kids, whether you believe in God or not, and that it touches people's spirit. It's amazing. And yeah, that's my desire too, all my kids to have a relationship with the Lord and to be kind to other people,
Yeah.
everybody. And Micah has done that with all my kids. I mean, he's brought it all to life with that. So
Right.
yeah, very
Oh,
important.
I
So
love that so much, Nina.
yeah.
I asked you in your when we were kind of chatting back and forth through Instagram if you had words of wisdom or an encouraging thought, or I don't know, anything you wanted for moms and dads or anybody raising a person with a different ability to know, or to hear from you about this journey and what you've learned so far, especially with Micah being 11, but also this being your fourth child. So like really in parenting, what matters and all that. Yeah.
Right. Okay. And I kind of touched on it. Here's the advice, like if I could look back, and it's for Micah and with my other kids, is that comparison, when you compare your kids with other people and other kids, it kills it kills the joy and the happiness and your striving. But if you just look at each kid as an individual and you stay in your lane with your kid and you let them be themselves, like Micah is who he is. Just don't compare try not to look at, like I said, everybody else's a highlight reel on their Instagram and think, well, why isn't my kid doing that? And
Right.
accept, just have joy for what they are. Lead them in the direction. Just don't compare. Live your best life. Be you. Do you. Let them be them. And then just to find the joy in the simplest things. I seriously, with Micah, he does something simple. I find the joy. Find the joy, not just with your kids, but in just everyday life. And what lessons I can learn from Micah. What lessons do I learn from my kids? Showing kindness. Those are the things that we should focus on and not stress over the little stuff that, is not going to really make a difference. Is your kid kind to others? Is your kid loving and accepting of others?
Mm-hmm.
That those to me mean way more than anything else. And just don't sweat the small stuff. Find the fun, make it fun, and celebrate every moment. Every moment. Even when it's hard, find the good thing in it. So
Yeah.
that's what,
Amen.
yeah.
I
So,
love that.
yeah.
Nina, thank
I
you.
know. Can we keep talking?
I know. Let's be friends
Whatever on
forever.
personal. Yeah.
Yes.
But
I
no,
love
I just want to say, I know we're probably out of time, but I just really want to say thank you because I'm humbled and I take it really serious when you're ever given an opportunity to talk to anybody and maybe help even one person. It's just like an honor. It's nothing to take lightly because you can change somebody's life. You can encourage somebody with your words. Our words are so important.
Mm-hmm.
And so I just want to thank you guys and the people who are in participating. I hope that I just encourage somebody today. And so I just want to thank you for having me. I really appreciate it.
Thank you,
So,
Nina,
thank you.
so much. And do you want to tell everybody where they could find you on Instagram?
Yeah, I'm at My Extraordinary Life. And I have this weird thing. Everything's like with the underscore. My underscore extra underscore ordinary underscore life. That's me. Sorry to complicate it.
No, I love it.
Find me there or and that's where I am. And I really just show basic things, trying to show that our life can be ordinary, but we can make it extra. And we have, with the little extra that we have in our life, it's just an extra. I love my life, and it's just an ordinary life. So
yes. Okay, one last thing. Have you gotten back into roller derby?
oh my gosh, you guys, I'm too old now. Oh my gosh, I retired, like a few years ago. Well, it's been probably 4 years ago. But if I could, I would still be doing it because I'm like a sportsy person, and but no, Mocha Motion is retired. So
what was I was going to ask you.
Mocha Motion, Mocha Motion. Yeah, I was a blocker and I ran people over, and it was fun and legal. So that's why I did it. Yeah.
Mocha Motion.
Yeah. I'm a coffee lover, and so we carried the M's because all my kids are M's also. So we carried over we carried over the M's. So anyway, I still teach kickboxing though. So if you're ever in Northern California, hit me up and you can come and take a few classes free.
Oh yes, sure.
So anyway, So anyway.
Oh, well, you're the best, Nina, and I thank you so much for your time, and I love following along, and so I'm going to still continue to be one of your biggest fans on Instagram.
Thank you. I'm watching you too.
Woohoo!
Yeah. Thank you, Mercedes.
You're welcome. Oh, you're welcome, Nina. Have fun at your buddy walk.
Okay, I'm gonna go wrap up those shirts right now. So.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Bye.
Okay, bye.
Bye.
Bye. Do I know how to get off of here?
I don't know.
You guys, I do not know how to do this thing, so you might be with me for all night.
Too much. Well, I will make one announcement just in case, so then I'll end it. But next week, everyone, we'll be back here with Steffi, and she is interviewing a lovely mama named Angela. So be back here again Monday night, 7:30.
I'm going to try to log off. Bye. Bye.